Welcome. Today we're going to talk to you about surviving stress versus completing stress. You're going to learn the difference and that there's more to stress than what meets the eye. Plus you'll discover what needs your attention to have a healthier relationship with stress moving forwards.
Absolutely. Now, stress has become a modern day badge of honor for us. Now, the truth is the way we deal with stress isn't honoring ourselves or each other at all. Now, we've learned to cope with stress. We learn to survive the hard days, the hard weeks, months and years. We've made it the norm to endure stress, to really get on with it and to push through it. And in some cases, we've even learned to just brag about it. Okay, we've lulled ourselves into a false sense of security, thinking we're letting go of stress and doing everything we can to get through it. But in reality, when stress persists, it's because we've been stacking up coping mechanisms instead of completing the healing process to relieve stress for good.
And listen, life stressors can be relentless, can't they? And they add up over time, which leads to stress stacking. And we talked about this before, and you can learn more about stress stacking specifically on episode 112. But basically, every stressful event, all these moments, big and small, compound over time. And unless we complete the stress relief process in full, there will forever be a stress residue left within us, which over time wears us down and affects us deeply. So if ever you have experienced any of the following, like being anxious,
and feeling maybe out of control of your emotions, maybe thinking negatively and overthinking, maybe snapping at others and being easily frustrated, or being overwhelmed and procrastinating.
And maybe you've experienced feeling tense with pent-up energy, maybe even physical pain and physical issues as a result, being affected by other people's stress, feeling tired all the time or withdrawing from others. Maybe you've been inconsistent with your commitments. If so, you have been on the receiving end of stress survival instead of stress completion.
And to overcome these issues once and for all, we need to learn how to complete stress. It can be tricky because when we're stressed out to our eyeballs, it can be tough to see a solution that will create lasting change. And it's safe to say that we can't see the picture when we're inside the frame.
True.
Yeah, and that's only natural. So please know that if you've been surviving stress, it's not your fault. So let's zoom out and understand what's really going on, as there's more to stress than meets the eye. It's important to know that there are 3 levels to stress. So what I want you to do is imagine that you have a pyramid in front of you.
Yeah, the top of the pyramid is the life level. And at the life level, we're juggling our careers, relationships, finances, our environment, our personal growth, our impact, our life experiences, and even our spirit. And we're spinning the plates, striving to keep it all balanced through our responsibilities and our actions. Now, if we're surviving stress at this level, we're likely to find ourselves constantly putting out fires. We're busy being reactive to life's problems. We find it hard to step back and get perspective of a situation, and we're consumed by our problems. We constantly feel like we're in the problem, rarely feeling empowered or at peace. Relationships suffer, work stress builds, and our zest for life will wane.
And it's common to see maladaptive behaviors here, what we call unhealthy coping mechanisms, like drinking alcohol to take the edge off, or exercising and or working to excess. Maybe withdrawing from social situations, eating too much or too little, compromising on sleep, and procrastination, to name just a few. But unfortunately, people start to live within their coping mechanisms and start to lose track of who they are without them.
So on the other hand though, if we've completed stress at this life level, it's a much healthier picture. We're likely to feel balanced and centered. We have a sense of confidence, feeling purposeful and grounded. Life seems to flow easier and it feels aligned. Relationships are founded on deep connection. Work life might feel meaningful, and our zest for life is in full swing.
And it's common to see adaptable behaviors here, what we call healthy coping mechanisms, like observing challenges from a distance, learning from experiences, making congruent decisions, thinking resourcefully with healthy outlets for excess energy, and becoming solution focused. So ask yourself, are you operating from a place of completion or survival at the life level?
So next we have the health level. This is the middle section of the pyramid. And at the health level, we're managing our internal environment, our physiology, the home within ourselves. And here we're influencing and being influenced by our breath, how we move, our nutrition and hydration, our sleep, our quality of thinking, our emotional states, our energy, and our ability to move into action. Now, if we're surviving stress at this level, we hold on to tension in our mind body, and often our body will feel heavy and tight. It can be hard to sleep at night and we'll feel tired all the time. Stress builds up inside and can lead to all sorts of chronic pain, weight fluctuation, and a general feeling of low energy and fatigue. It's really common here to see inconsistent and excessive behaviours. For example, emotional eating, excessive exercise, low energy, poor quality of thinking, emotional highs and lows, poor self-regulation and lack of motivation to act on healthy habits.
Definitely. But however, if we've completed stress at this level, we have a well-balanced approach to well-being. We're attuned to what we need. We feel energized and well. We sleep soundly at night and know how to navigate challenging times through self-care. And it's common to see holistic behaviors here. For example, an adoption of 8 pillars of wellness and the ability to self-assess what's needed and when. And these 8 pillars are breathing, meditation, mindfulness as one, sleeping, movement, nutrition, hydration, energy, quality of thinking, emotions, and action taken. Now, these 8 areas are highly effective outer healing strategies that anyone can adopt to move from survival to completion of stress.
Yeah, and when adopting these, stress starts to dissolve. Life may still feel like a bit of a roller coaster, however, you'll start to feel resourceful and balanced here. You'll be able to respond to life's challenges without feeling the heaviness that life can bring. Instead, you'll start to feel light, confident, resilient, and even happy.
Definitely. And if you're operating from a place of survival here, take a look at a free diagnostic tool we've made. That will help you assess how you're performing at a health level. It will focus on showing what's going well and what can be done to improve quickly. It's a scorecard with 24 questions to help you relieve stress fast, and it takes less than 7 minutes to do. The link to this can be found in the show notes.
So last up, at the bottom of the pyramid, we have the root level. And at the root level, we're revealing the conditioning of who we are at the core. Now, this is a foundation of lasting change. Everything at this level is influencing the health and the life level. It's often hidden behind layers of life's distraction and rarely gets looked at until stress becomes a much bigger problem. So it involves taking a closer look at unresolved negative emotions, our belief system, our sense of identity, our core values, our habits, our patterns, attachment injuries, past trauma, our life's purpose, and our survival, psychological and spiritual needs. And if we're surviving stress at this level, it's hard to stick to wellness practices and we become easily emotionally triggered. Often it is described as feeling like drowning, like wanting to explode or give up altogether. It's likely that there is compounded stress from past experiences which need to be resolved.
And it's common to see survival mechanisms here, like the need to control outcomes, the need to protect self or others, maybe avoidance patterns, codependency, seeking external validation, and lack of vulnerability. If we've completed stress at this level, we have a greater awareness of ourselves. We've embodied who we are and integrated our shadow selves. We have a deep sense of knowing all is well and experience heightened states of contentment and peace. And it's common to see highly efficient behavior here and high performance. The ability to regulate ourselves becomes second nature. Of course, life will still have its challenges, but the solutions will be anchored in a place of resource.
Now, it's easy to get tangled up in all 3 levels, which creates a vicious cycle that's really hard to get out of. So here's what to do to start untangling the 3 levels and complete your stress. Step 1 is to identify where you are on the stress pyramid. Ask yourself which level resonates the most. Which areas do you feel need your attention now? It could be one or many, but what matters is that you highlight it and become aware of it.
Step 2 is about starting with the low-hanging fruits. It can be overwhelming to find out where we are on the stress pyramid, which is why we recommend to start with the easiest win. For example, if you recognize your health level needs attention, you can take the assessment scorecard and see how to improve the areas of concern. You'll receive practical and tactical videos on each of the 8 areas, and you can get started right away. For others, the easiest win could be to dive into the root level and start learning more about who you are and where your thoughts, behaviors, and feelings are stemming from.
Step 3 is accepting that the stress completion is a journey, okay? Often when we're feeling stressed, especially long-term stress, we just want it to go away. We want the fastest solution, the quick fix. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that for lasting change. It requires you to explore the whole stress pyramid, recalibrate and master each area. And it can take time, energy and patience, but I promise you, it's totally worth it. Many people, including us, believe that our life's work is to be happy, to find peace and be of service to those we love and the greater good. But we can never achieve this if we are constantly surviving. Now, surviving will leave us burned out, forever needing more, full of regret and never satisfied. We must complete our stress in order to thrive and perform at our highest levels. Our peace lies in the journey that's ahead.
and it can seem daunting to set out on a journey of stress recovery, but the good news is it's more predictable than you might think. It's common to not know where to start, but following the steps we've just mentioned will get you on the right path. Notice what struck a chord with you the most from what you've learned here today, and start there. The key is to make sure your road to stress completion doesn't feel stress anymore. If it feels like your stress is stressing you out, and yes, that is a real thing. Now, we suggest you seek out support from an expert in this field, and in honor of Stress Awareness Month, we've opened up extra spots for our free discovery calls to help get you on the right track. You can find the link in the show notes.
And listen, lastly, it can be scary to think about who we are and what our lives would look like without the stress. And you might be surprised to hear that. Surely it'd just be great, wouldn't it? Wouldn't life be perfect? And I can assure you, it does get better. But as human beings, we can get comfortable in our own pain. The safety net of our suffering can become familiar, and it's easier to then stay where we are. Yet that's one of the biggest lies we can tell ourselves. Staying in our own survival state of stress will take its toll in the long term and can lead to even bigger problems in the future. Problems that affect our health, our loved ones, and our livelihoods. And the fact that you've made it through life this far shows how resilient you are. It shows your courage. And the fact that you're still listening to us right now just shows that you are hungry to thrive. You're so ready for that next level. You're ready to complete your stress and live a happy, healthy, meaningful life.
Now, do you want to survive stress, or do you want to complete it so you can thrive? That's a question you've got to ask yourself. We need to become aware of how we're doing in our stress pyramid so we know what to improve. The most common mistake we see people make is to try and change things at the life level, like a new job or a new relationship, for example. But they're still wildly unhappy or experience the same stress over and over again. But the reality is each level is interlinked, and it's essential to look at yourself as a whole to be able to live and achieve what you want.
And we have a special invitation for you. If you'd like to kickstart your stress relief completion, we're hosting an event in May that would be perfect for you. We'll be focusing on how to navigate the stress pyramid and help you to discover how to stop maybe snapping at others and becoming easily frustrated. Instead, you'll flip it so you're feeling calm and at ease.
Maybe you also learn about if you're thinking negatively and overthinking, you're going to discover how to gain peace of mind.
If you're anxious and feeling out of control of emotions, instead you're going to learn how to feel resourceful and grounded.
If you're feeling tense with pent-up energy causing pain or other physical issues, instead you'll discover how to feel healthier and stronger with more flow in your body.
If you're feeling tired all the time and withdrawing from others, you will start to feel energized and well.
If you've been being affected by other people's stress and know how to navigate your own resilience and energy.
Now, being overwhelmed and procrastinating, you will actually flip that into feeling energized to take action. And if you're not being consistent in your commitments, you will discover how to become aligned so you can show up in the way that you want to.
Now, we only host this Kickstarter event once a year for a limited number of people. So if you're interested to know more, the link will be in the show notes for you. Now, this is for you if you want to get started on your stress relief journey, or if you're already on the healing path, it will kickstart your momentum.
So thank you so much for listening today. Please share this with anyone you feel might benefit, and we look forward to hearing your stories of stress completion. So until next time, be well, mean well, and make a difference that lasts.